may our prenatal experiential patterns function as templates for some of our patterns woven into the complex knit of postnatal design. What he is asking, is there maybe something in the embryo that we experience and that later on will appear in the templates of our mind, in the patterns of how we think and how we do? And that is the question. Just halfway, now we are not really halfway, but just a moment of meditation. The human problem is having a mind and being a body. That's the problem of Descartes. That's the problem everyone can experience. There is a mind and there's a body. Maybe it's not a problem, but it's what the author here says. But you also could say it in a different way. You could say the human body, being a mind and having a body, because you can be your body, because also have a body. So, but at least it is two. I repeat, the human problem, having a mind and being a body, is nowhere as painful and clear as in medicine. Painful because being a body means that you have to die. We are mortal, like every living being. Clearly, because having a mind means you know that. Is that something where it is about? Has consciousness mind to do with our mortality? And is it not a product of the body, but something else in the body? Let's go. I start again with a slide summarizing, let's say, the proposal of Descartes, which was not a theory, which is an experience. Everybody can experience it. Every child asks it, where do I come from? The child does not ask for the body. The child asks, there must be something in me, because the body it knows, but there must be something in me, where do I come from? And the most bloody answer you nowadays can give is that they come from the belly of their mother, which is stupid with its biological nonsense. I have never seen someone coming out of the belly of someone else. I will show you in the last section of this lecture. When we are born, we die out of ourselves, not from your mother. But that's for later. This is Descartes. Is it a duality or a polarity? And don't forget, pre-Cartesian oneness, that is simply the world you live in. I mean, the body that you live is a twofold. There is body and there is mind. And after Descartes, we made the split. It is pre-Cartesian, the body, mind and body were one. And after Descartes, we made a split between res extensa, res cogitans, the onlooker reality of the scientist and the participating reality of the person who lives his body. Penser, thinking, I think, therefore I am. Or the sentir, feeling. It's French. On les sent plus qu'on le voit. I think the translator does not know what I'm saying. It's French. On les sent plus qu'on le voit means it's more that you feel it, experience it, than that you can see it. And that's where we have to go to. The body as the ponderable dimension, which is heart and matter. And the soul as the imponderable, which is only experienceable. And never you can make a brain scan in which you can see soul. So, a very simple statement when I start to talk about the embryo and about your body. If spirit, Descartes called it res cogitans, exists, you know one thing for sure. It must be, it has to be, it cannot be something else than the absolute and complete opposite polarity of matter. Res extensa. That's the secret. If it's two, it must be a polarity. They must be completely different, but at the same time, they must be one. Let's go on. And this is the embarrassing problem nowadays of people who are no longer so sure that there is a mind, like Dennett and Bessel van der Kolk. And they struggle with that notion of the other neurophysiologists that, you know, the body starts somewhere here and that this is something else. And that the body only nourishes, transports, and reproduces the brain, the head. And in his book, his latest book, Bessel van der Kolk says it. He says it's about mind, brain, and body. Is it correct? Is the brain, what is the brain? Is the brain mind or is it body? Well, I think it's incorrect to talk about these three. Of course there's a three-ness, because if there's a two-ness, there must also be a middle. I talk about that. But this is the problem. We decapitated ourselves. We made of ourselves a hierarchy, and the boss of it all is the brain. Well, I will tell you, the embryo lives at least 8 weeks without any brain. And then comes the fetal brain, and it takes another 2 months before it starts to function. The first head you make in your body is the heart. You have more heads than just your brain. You have heads in your skull, you have heads in your kidneys. But the first organ that coordinates, that regulates, is the heart. The heart is your primary head. But we exaggerated this head, made it the head. So mind and body are one, is my opinion. Brain actually is not an experience of the first person. I do not experience my brain. Consciousness, mind, is therefore not an epiphenomenon of the brain. That's what people nowadays think, that the brain is a kind of transmitter or emitting. What's stupid? You know, there was one who said, like the kidneys produce urinary, the brain produces consciousness, the brain produces mind. How stupid can you be? As if a fountain produces water, or a radio produces music. Do your lung produce carbon dioxide? Of course not. Your kidney does not produce water. Your kidney is not water. Your kidney is an organ, and that transforms your interstitial fluid in another fluid, and that is urine. It does not make the fluid. So, I don't know how these people think, but it's absolutely it's error. So consciousness cannot be a function of the brain, because consciousness is imponderable. So these people say that body and mind are both ponderable, that you can measure that you can make that visible. So it's a kind of pseudo-dualism. If you think spirit away, then you have only mind and body. The mind and body, the mind then becomes consciousness and there is no soul. So pseudo-dualism, mind becomes a function of a certain organ, which is the body, in the body, and that is the brain. So the body, the brain, produces my consciousness, produces my mind. Mind and body are one. The mind is not located in an organ or a system. I think it happens. Your radio is a transformer, a receiver of the music. Your body is a transformer, a receiver of mind. Mind is pre-existent. It is not produced by the body. It comes through the body. The music is not produced by the radio. It comes through the radio. So either mind, soul, spirit does not exist, or it is everywhere. There's no choice. Either everything is matter, and you only have a body, which miraculously produces something like mind, okay? Either there's only body, or there is mind and soul and as well, and then we have to accept that mind and soul is everywhere. So the body and the mind becomes, in my view, as a condition for the mind. It's a necessary but not sufficient condition for mind. And nowadays we live more and more in the era of the neurogenetic determinism, that the brain is causing my mind, is causing my consciousness, and that the genes are causing my properties. It is biological nonsense.